Canadian football receiving king Nick Lewis in the bunker with us. Rough Riders Hall of Famer Wes Cates with us. Both Grey Cup champions. And coming up a little later on, live from Grey Cup week, Devere Posey of the Montreal Alouettes, who was one of the big stars of the Argos Grey Cup win in 2017. I got to get to our poll for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center just to update it. We're asking our respondents, who do you think will win the 107th Grey Cup at Calgary's McMahon Stadium on Sunday? The Winnipeg Blue Bombers or Hamilton Tiger Cats? And you know what? 65% of you are going with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, which I find interesting because just about every pundit that's been through these doors all week has picked the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for a variety of reasons. And I'm not going to immediately jump into the picks from these guys other than to say welcome to Nick Lewis and Wes Cates. How you doing, guys?
Good. Real good.
Appreciating it. You both have been through multiple Grey Cup weeks. I'll start with you, Nick, because it's in your town, your second hometown, Calgary. What's it like for the teams right now on the Thursday of Grey Cup week? What's going on?
It's good. They're just now settling in. Tonight, I know with Huff, you don't have curfew the Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday night. So it gives you a chance to go out, kind of enjoy the activities, and then you start to learn to focus in and things like that. So I think guys are getting to that point where tomorrow is going to be their focus day, and it's going to be their cleanup day, the last day of practice, and it's good.
You go along with that, Wes, schedule-wise?
Yeah, for the most part, it's a little more lax. There's always some type of brunch or dinner or some type of, meeting you got to go to, do a little bit of press or something. So they make sure to keep you busy enough that you can't get off into anything too crazy. But yeah, it's pretty lax. Everything's kind of been said and done. You might be implementing a couple more things in practice, but it's like it's basically you're focusing in like they know everything we're going to do. We know everything they're going to do. So it's just about just motivating each other and trying to focus in on the little things as much as you can in those last few days.
What's the balance between getting rest but enjoying the moment? Because in 2007 with Ken Austin, all year long, before every game when I interviewed him, I'm like, Ken, here's your first game coaching. Here's your first Labor Day. Here's your first home playoff game in 23 years. And he kept saying, Rod, it's just one game. It's one game. They're no more important than the rest. So then Grey Cup Sunday morning, I said, hey, Ken, it's Grey Cup, but let me guess, it's just another game. And he's like, Rod, no, it's a championship. Of course it's not another game. But that's Ken, right? Always keeping you on your toes and you never know.
Right.
So how much, Nick, do the coaches say, hey, enjoy yourself, this is special, versus be prepared?
You have to enjoy the moment because you don't know if you're going to ever get back. When rookies go to the Grey Cup, they think it's going to happen every year. But when you're a vet and you go, you know how long it's been. And like for me being in Calgary, when I got there, there's only 5 Grey Cup victories in 90-something years. So it's like, wow, it's only been 5. So you understand the importance of winning and you understand the importance of finishing what you started. So it's definitely different than any other game, but I believe there's probably more pressure to win in the first or second round of the playoffs than the Grey Cup. The Grey Cup game is just like a celebration, so you just go out there and compete. But I believe the pressure to get there is a little bit harder.
Very interesting. How do you feel about that, Wes?
Yeah, there's definitely, you got one game to prove it, so it's kind of like you lay everything on the line for that last game. I think during that week, definitely just getting out and spending a little time with the fans. Everybody's always got family in town, right? So you're hosting the family, trying to get involved in a couple of maybe events that are happening. So you relax and you try to use that time to kind of maybe get some motivational conversations in with some fans. Maybe give you a little more juice for the game, but yeah, it's tough. And by that time, you have everything kind of implemented. So, like Nick was saying, it's tough getting there. Once you're there, it's kind of like a relief in a sense, but you just got to stay mentally focused in for one more week.
Just to interject, a shout out this morning from Scott Henbury, one of our major sponsors from Great Western Breweries. He says, morning, guys, enjoying the show from sunny Saskatoon this morning. So good morning, Scott. Thanks for joining us for coffee. I just want to ask you this, and we'll get into the nuts and bolts of the game, gentlemen, and the matchup. But I noticed this when I first started going to Grey Cups. Working in the league was 99. There's a distinct line between the football side of it and the party side of it. And in Montreal in 2001, I woke up in my hotel room for $1 million. I couldn't tell you who was playing in the game the next day because I was caught up in the machine of Montreal. Nick, you know a little bit about that.
Oh, I got caught up in that machine in 2008.
Right. So how do the players shield themselves from that craziness? Could be very hard, I would think, to ignore.
Just like Steinhauer said yesterday with the sex question, man, it's do what got you there. You can't change it. You have to go. If Hamilton was in Hamilton on a Wednesday night playing on a Sunday, how would they be right now? Same thing with Winnipeg. So I wouldn't say change who you are. I wouldn't go out and go too hard. But I mean, at the same time, go out, enjoy your family, go out to eat, or if you want to go into a lounge or whatever, or do whatever you want to do. But just understand that people are watching you, and there's more eyes on you. So when they do see you out with the beer in your hand or a drink in your hand, that they do know at that moment, you better play well on the game, or they're going to call you out for, I seen him on Thursday with a beer in his hand at 9 o'clock when he should have been in bed. But nobody wants to go to the hotel room for 24 hours either. So enjoy the moment, but understand you have a lot of eyes on you.
You played in a lot of Grey Cups, Wes. How did you shield the party?
Yeah, I mean, you do you. Luckily, I guess I'm not one of those guys that kind of needs that party atmosphere to kind of get revved up. But everybody's different, right? So I can't say I always made curfew, but I definitely know I wasn't out, tearing my body down the night before a game. But like I said, everybody's different, so you can't really mess with a guy's process. If that's what gets them ready for the game, you kind of just say, hey, man, do you. As long as what you do doesn't jeopardize the team or affect your performance in any way, like, have at it, man. Just, I catch you on game day. Let's go get this.
It's hilarious that you say that, and to the football stuff next. But I just remember being at one party. It was in a parkade at a Grey Cup, and one of the Rider coaches was there. It was 2 o'clock, and I'm like, should you be here? Then I thought, should I be here? I won't tell if you won't.
Right.
And away we went. Bombers, Ticats, hell of a matchup. Guys are having a tough time. Sean Lemon didn't want to be pinned down to a pick yesterday. But in the end, he went with Winnipeg. He just said it's too early. And he's probably right. What are you thinking about the game, Nick?
Well, first of all, Sean's lying. Everyone knows. It's not too early unless someone, hopefully, God forbid, goes down today or tomorrow in practice. But other than that, Winnipeg's going to use Andrew Harris, Dembski in the run game, Strevler in the run game, and change it up with Zach throwing the ball. That gives them a total different element. And it puts a lot on the front six or front seven of Hamilton. So if those guys can stop Strevler, because when you get within 3 or 4 yards and put Strevler in the game, it's so hard to stop him getting 3 to 4 yards. And it's so hard to stop them with La Police's offense doing a lot of misdirection. So they do have a chance, but I just think when Hamilton's too explosive and their offense is really explosive.
So you're going with Hamilton right out of the gate?
Yeah, I'm going Hamilton.
I don't know. Hamilton is explosive, and they've definitely got the machine to get it done. But Winnipeg just seems determined. They've played the better teams. They've shut down the better offenses, and I think that although that Trevor Harris game, I mean, Trevor came in and looked like the Trevor Harris that we all know. So the fact that Hamilton kind of handled their offense was impressive. But I definitely think that Winnipeg's kind of riding a wave right now that I think might put them over the hump.
So you're taking Winnipeg. Sounds like you're favoring Winnipeg.
It just
it's
seems
gonna be
like
a great game.
Whoever comes out of the West, it just seems like they're just better prepared for that game most of the time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Andrew Harris hasn't even come close to 100 yards rushing in the playoffs yet. And you talk about you do what you do. Winnipeg hasn't done what they do. Now they got a different quarterback than they normally have in Zach Collaros. But is this the game that he smashes the door down?
I mean, that's the threat of it, right? Teams are looking at that first and trying to stop that first. So the fact that I think Collaros got in there and took advantage of it, there was a lot of one-on-one coverage against Saskatchewan, and he was dropping dimes, and it shifted the field if it didn't score points. So I think you just have to I think La Police will change it up and see how they play the run game and then take it from there. But obviously Harris is capable of having a big 150-yard game.
Go ahead, Nick.
Your goal is always to take their top target away and try to take their second top target away. And if you look at Winnipeg's offense, right now you're thinking that's Andrew Harris and possibly Darvin Adams. right? So those are who you're looking to try to take away with your defense and things like that. So, given said that, like if we're taking away Andrew Harris, around that you're going to get man-to-man coverage, that you're going to get some of those things because they have to commit one extra guy or two extra guys to do that. So even though he's not being productive with his play, him being on the field gives them such a huge advantage in the passing game.
Do you have an endorsement deal with Cowboys? This is the second time you've worn that hat in here.
Well, I'll tell you what, we having a party down there tomorrow night.
I was going to ask if you're going.
Yeah, I'm heading out tonight, so be celebrating the Cowboys tomorrow night. I'm hosting an event there, and it's going to be something lovely. It says "Let the legend continue." So let's get it going.
Now, you talk about how last time you came in here, you said you and I go way back, and we do. You go back far enough in Calgary to the old Cowboys, and they're both magnificent.
Yes.
Magnificent.
Yes.
Tell me about the new one. I've been in there a couple of times. It's just going to be a beehive. When they said the party's on the Stampede grounds, it's on the Stampede grounds. Can you imagine?
It is on the Stampede grounds. I say it a lot like Stampede a little bit. There's so many fans coming in town, and the C train gets off right there. So you have access to Cowboys. And the way they did it was with the casino. You have Zen 8, a hibachi restaurant inside. You have Melrose, which is a staple in Calgary for a long time. It's in the back, and then you have Calgary's nightclub in there. So there's so many things. They have a center bar, so it's a great place to be because you can gamble, you can hang out, you can eat, and it's going to be a great place to mingle. And also the CFL on Cancer events there Saturday 12 to 3. So
what's your party about?
Celebrating the CFL. It's a wonderful game. It's a wonderful league, and it's wonderful people that support it and that go to continuous Grey Cup. So let's go out and celebrate. I believe Damon Allen will be there with me, and some of the Calgary guys and John Bowman and some other guys will be there to celebrate and just have a good night.
Are you sold out, or can we sell some tickets for you here today, or do you need some help with that?
Oh, man, you can just go to Cowboys nightclub, Google it and everything, and I put out on my social media some place where you can get free tickets. It's $10 at the door. Or you can download free tickets.
Well, I tell you what, Nick, we've all been around. I've been everywhere. I will put Cowboys against anything.
Yes.
Anything.
Yes.
You'll ever find anywhere.
Legendary players with legendary people at a legendary venue. It's going to be a legendary party.
Cowboys, you're welcome.
Tomorrow night. Yeah, let's get it.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.